Welcome in Craft and Design 3.0 M. For my dear audience, in this video, I will describe some different and much beautiful ideas of home decor plants. Means, in other hands, we can say that a house plant. A house plant, sometimes known as a pot plant, potted plant, or an indoor plant, is an ornamental plant that is grown indoor. As such, they are found in places like residences and offices, mainly for decorative purpose. Common house plants are usually tropical or semi-tropical and are often epiphytes, succulents, or cacti. So, dear audience, if we saw a cultural history, then we talk about uh, early history. The history of houseplant is intertwined with the history of container gardening in general. Ancient Egyptian and Sumerians grew ornamental and fruiting plants in decorative containers. Ancient Greeks and the Romans cultivated laurel trees, Laura's nobles in earthenware vessels. In ancient China, potted plants were shown at garden exhibition over 2500 years ago. In the medieval era, gilliflower were displayed in containers. So in early modern era, when we talk about during the Renaissance, plant collectors and affluent merchants from Italy, the Netherlands, and Belgium imported plants from Asia Minor and East Indies. Creeping groundsel was introduced in Malta and the rest of Europe in the 15th century as an ornament. When we talk about the 17th century, fascination in exotic plants grew among the aristocracy of France and England. Inventor and writer Hugh Platt published Garden of Eden in 1660, a book which directed indoor plant growing method wealthy British household. And dear audience, when we talk about some alternative growing method, house plants are also grown in variety of media other than potting mix, often in the hydroponic or semi-hydroponic system. This may overlap with aquascaping materials like sand, gravel, bricks, expanded clay, aggregate, and straw form may be employed. Some epiphytic plants may be grown mounted either with their roots in potting mix and their stems attached to support, or with their roots wrapped in shagum and attached to a vertical surface with wire. This can also overlap with the practice of kokedama. So when we talk about production, then I said that houseplants are obtained either by collecting wild specimens of plants or by growing them in greenhouses or commercial nurseries. Wild collection of plants for the houseplant trade is a major threat to many species, especially plants with limited native range. Plants which are particularly threatened in this way are cacti, succulents, and carnivorous plants, especially Venus flytrap. Dear audience, look in that video. Plants grown for commercial production may be produced from seed by using traditional propagation technique or through tissue culture in 2002, the wholesale value of foliage plants grown in the United States was roughly $700 million, mostly grown in Florida. In 2018, houseplant growers in the Netherlands produced a billion houseplants for the European market. So, some effects of houseplants are houseplants do not have an appreciable effect on the concentration of volatile organic compound in normal home environment. It would require between 10 and 1000 house plants per square meter to achieve the same level of work removal as occur from passive exchange between indoor and outdoor air. The idea that houseplants have an appreciable effect on indoor air quality is largely based on the clean air study conducted by NASA in the 1980s. The study tested plants in sealed chamber and with highly elevated levels of volatile organic compound, specifically benzene, trichloroethylene, and formaldehyde. It concluded that to the extent that houseplants improve air quality, the mechanism of action is microorganisms within the potting soil rather than the plants themselves. So houseplants do have a statistically significant effects on the concentration of both carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide in normal indoor environment, reducing carbon and significance some effect of concentration of both carbon dioxide and hydrogen oxide. So when reducing carbon dioxide level by 10.25% and carbon monoxide level by up to 90%. So the effect has been investigated by NASA for use in spacecraft. Plants also appear to increase the number and diversity of bacteria in homes. While reducing fungal diversity, they tend to increase humidity, reduce temperature swings, and reduce noise. There are also many claimed psychological and physiological benefit to having houseplants. A critical review of the experimental literature concluded so the revised study suggests that indoor plants can provide psychological benefits such as heat reduction and increased pain tolerance. So, however, they are also showed substantial heterogeneity in method and result. We therefore have strong reservation about general claims that indoor plants cause beneficial psychological change. It appears that benefits are contingent on feature of the context in which the indoor plants are encountered and on characteristics of the people encountering them. Houseplants can offer minor recovery from stress when instituted as part of an environment. The presence of a houseplant in an office setting can also increase productivity. A 2004 controlled study discovered that houseplants can improve mental focus, stabilize mood, and raise psychological motivation when present in otherwise unadorned environment. So, list of common house plants are uh, much and much like as a tropical and subtropical conditions means aglaonema Chinese evergreen so as elephant ear the alcosia and Colchicea pop. So anthuriums sub. So Ephilandra scorosa means I think that a zebra plant type and Araucaria heterophylia. So Aspidisria eladia. So Begonia Bromeliaceae and so as Clothia chlorophytrum comsum, so as citrus, colsemen, and some other Dieffenbachia, so as Epiperanium, so ferns, Hoya, Orchidaceae, so as Peperomia, palms, means many other different types of flowers that can be grow in a flowering pot or other many other things. So as when succulents allows app including aloe vera, so as cactaceae and amphibia, so many other types that we uh, talk about flowering plants and other. So for some force bulb and like as a Corcus, Hypsitrum, Hyacinthus, Narcissus. So as a temperate plants are also we describe Hadrix and Saxifrage. So dear audience, I think my video are much interesting. So thank you.